Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. So today I'm going to introduce you to one of Makita's iconic models, the DBO180 Random Orbital Sander. You're about to see a compact, efficient machine, but I won't say any more for now. Let me show it to you in the next segment. See you in a bit. So here is the random orbital sander we're talking about, the Makita DBO180. So as you can see, it's a compact machine equipped with a standard brushed motor, but most importantly, it's compatible with all 18-volt batteries from Makita, meaning the LXT range. So if you already own tools from the same range, you can reuse those batteries with this machine. As I just mentioned, this machine is equipped with a standard brushed motor. So as a result, it doesn't have the advantages of a brushless motor, such as better battery life management and a longer motor lifespan. As for handling, we're looking at a machine that weighs 1.2 kilograms. That's the weight of the bare tool, meaning without the battery. So here, obviously, I have a 5 amp hour battery, so it's a bit heavy. So a 2 or 3 amp hour battery would be more than enough. We also have a design that, as I mentioned earlier, is quite compact, with a mushroom-shaped handle here, which really makes it easier to grip. And we also have the speed adjustment and the stop button, which are right under your fingers. So it's pretty easy to handle and control. And there's also a grip that still provides a minimum level of comfort while sanding. Another feature you'll find on this machine, which again isn't the case with all the random orbital sanders I've seen, is that it has 3 rotation speeds. This lets you adjust the speed of the sanding pad depending on your needs, the finish you want, and of course, the condition of the material. For example, this allows us to use speed 1 for up to 7,000 oscillations per minute, speed 2 for up to 9,500 oscillations per minute, and finally, speed 3 for up to 11,000 oscillations per minute, simply by pressing this button several times to change and adjust these speeds according to your needs. Right next to it, there's the 0 button, which simply stops the machine. While I'm talking about the technical features, after speed, let's talk a bit about the oscillation amplitude, which on this machine is 2.8 millimeters. So if I compare it to other machines I've seen on the market, which are usually around 2.5 millimeters, we're slightly above that, which means you'll get even more effective sanding. As for the pad, we're looking at a 125 millimeter pad, which is pretty standard for this type of machine. This mainly means you'll have a wide selection of sanding discs to choose from, like this one here, with 8 holes that allow for dust extraction. Of course, you'll need to make sure that the 8 holes line up with the holes on the pad so you can collect as much dust as possible. But the advantage is, as I mentioned, you can easily find sanding discs, and more importantly, you'll have a wide variety to choose from with different grits, all at really affordable prices. These machines also come with a dust collector. So some people will say, yes, that's pretty standard for this type of machine and this size. But the difference compared to other models is that this dust collector is equipped with a filter that you can, of course, empty, but more importantly, you can replace it if it gets too clogged up. And so you can buy them separately, of course, since it's a consumable that you can also find pretty easily online. By the way, I'll put the references in the description for those who are interested. So on the one hand, this lets you collect dust, which is a given, but it also allows for even finer filtration than other vacuum systems, which means you can work more efficiently and, above all, in better conditions. Now, let's see how this random orbital sander performs in action with a piece of oak that has been varnished. Let's see how it performs in terms of sanding. I've put on an 80 grit sanding disc, simply to do a complete stripping. And for now, we'll start at speed 1. So as I mentioned earlier, to select the speed, you just need to press the button several times. So here. So here we're on speed 1. Let's see right away how it turns out. So it works like this, but honestly, I suggest we switch to speed 3 right away. It'll be much more effective for this, since for stripping, it's better to use a fairly high speed. There you go. As you can see, this stripping was pretty effective. We don't have any dust at all. So that's actually really nice, being able to work in these conditions. Let's see how it looks in the dust collection bag. I'm gonna put it on my wooden board. And as you can see, we've collected quite a bit of dust, which really lets you work more safely in a space, especially if that space is confined and doesn't have much ventilation. Now let's see how it works with paint residue, what kind of result we get. So same as before, at maximum speed, I haven't changed my sanding grit. And here too, we'll see how it turns out. Still working on a piece of oak, so it's pretty hard. So here, as you can see, the sanding was effective really without any trouble. You get a good grip on the machine, good control. As you saw, I pressed the button and the motor stopped pretty quickly. So honestly, nothing to complain about. I'm actually pleasantly surprised by this machine. As you saw, we're dealing with a compact machine, but it's also effective because, as you saw during the sanding phases, we had no trouble sanding off varnish or paint residue on a piece of oak, which is actually pretty tough. On the motor side, unfortunately, we don't get a brushless motor, so it's not the latest generation motor that would have allowed for better battery life management and also a longer motor lifespan. But still, as you'll see when I talk about the price, this allows you to get this machine at a really very affordable price. In terms of performance, it's actually pretty good, especially with 3 speeds that let you choose the speed based on the type of finish, the material, and of course, the kind of sanding you want to do. So that's really an advantage for this machine, even though between us, I still tend to use it at the maximum speed. That way, I get fast and efficient sanding. But if you really want more of a fine finish, a more careful job, you can lower the speed. Of course, it will depend on your needs. And finally, as for the price, know that this machine is generally sold for around 80 euros. So that's of course the price for the random orbital sander, for this sander without the battery. So it's a really great price, especially if you already have batteries from the same range. So as usual, if you're interested in this machine, I'll put the reference for the best sellers in the description, at least those who offer this machine at the best price. There you go, this video is now coming to an end. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't hesitate to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And in any case, I'll see you very soon for a new video. Bye!